Villains in fiction often serve as the primary antagonists, driving the conflict and offering challenges to the protagonist. While many villains are motivated by power, revenge, or malice, some have surprisingly good reasons for their actions. These villains, though they may engage in morally questionable acts, often believe that they are serving a greater good or are justified in their pursuit. Here are 10 villains whose motivations are more complex than just evil for evil's sake. 1. Magneto XMen. Magneto, the infamous villain from the X-Men series, is often portrayed as a powerful mutant who seeks to overthrow human society in favor of mutant dominance. His motivations stem from his traumatic experiences during the Holocaust, where he witnessed the horrors of human oppression. Magneto's desire to protect mutants from human persecution and ensure their survival is rooted in his deeply held belief that mutants must protect themselves by any means necessary. While his methods are extreme, his motivation to prevent the suffering of his people is understandable and grounded in personal history. 2. Thanos, Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thanos is portrayed as the ultimate villain in Avengers, Infinity War and Avengers, Endgame. Thanos believes that the universe is suffering from overpopulation and finite resources, which leads to wars, suffering, and chaos. His solution is to eliminate half of all life in the universe using the power of the Infinity Stones. While his methods are horrific, his motivation to bring balance and preserve resources for future generations reflects a desire to create a better universe, albeit through an extreme and unethical approach. 3. Ozymandias, Watchman. In Watchmen, Ozymandias, Adrian Veidt, is a villain who orchestrates a complex plan to prevent global nuclear war by staging an alien invasion. His actions, which involve killing millions of people, are motivated by his belief that the ends justify the means. Veidt sees the destruction of New York City as a necessary sacrifice to unite the world and avert total destruction. His motivation, although deeply flawed, reflects a utilitarian philosophy that seeks the greatest good for the greatest number. 4. Ra's al Ghul, Batman Begins. Ra's al Ghul, the leader of the League of Shadows in Batman Begins, believes that Gotham City is beyond saving and must be destroyed to ensure the survival of humanity. His ultimate goal is to purge society of corruption by bringing about a controlled destruction, which he believes will give birth to a better world. While his methods, especially the use of a destructive device, are extreme, his desire to cleanse the world of evil is rooted in his belief that society must be reborn from the ashes. 5. The Governor, The Walking Dead. The Governor, from the Walking Dead TV series, starts as a well-meaning leader trying to protect his community in a post-apocalyptic world. However, as the series progresses, his methods become more authoritarian and cruel. His descent into villainy is driven by his desire to protect his people at any cost, including resorting to violence and manipulation. His ultimate goal is to build a strong, self-sustaining community, but his willingness to sacrifice others for this vision makes him a morally ambiguous character. 6. Eric Killmonger, Black Panther. Eric Killmonger, the antagonist of Black Panther, is a villain driven by a deep desire for justice and equality. Raised in poverty and exile, he seeks to use Wakanda's advanced technology to overthrow oppressive regimes and bring power back to African descendants around the world. Killmonger's motivations are rooted in a desire to end global inequality, but his approach, through violence and revenge, leads him down a dark path. His character embodies the struggle between justice and vengeance, with a moral message that resonates despite his extreme actions. 7. Loki, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Loki, the god of mischief, is one of the most beloved yet complex villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Initially motivated by a desire for power and dominance, Loki's actions are influenced by feelings of inadequacy and the longing to be accepted by his father, Odin. His villainous actions, particularly in the Avengers and Thor, Ragnarok, stem from his desire for recognition and control. Loki's eventual redemption arc shows that beneath his villainous exterior, he is driven by a deep need for validation and belonging. 8. Anakin Skywalker, Star Wars. Anakin Skywalker, who ultimately becomes Darth Vader in Star Wars, is a tragic figure whose motivations are driven by love, fear, and a desire to protect his loved ones. Anakin's descent into the dark side is catalyzed by his fear of losing Padme, which leads him to seek power and control over life and death. His tragic belief that he can save others by wielding power ultimately turns him into the very thing he sought to destroy. Anakin's motivations, though misguided, are rooted in emotional and deeply personal concerns, making his fall to the dark side all the more tragic. 9. The Beast, Beauty and the Beast. The Beast from Beauty and the Beast is often misunderstood as a simple monster, but his character is rooted in the theme of redemption. Once a selfish and arrogant prince, he is cursed to live as a beast until he learns to love and be loved in return. His actions throughout the story, such as imprisoning Belle and being harsh toward others, stem from his bitterness and feelings of isolation. While he is initially a villain, his growth and eventual redemption highlight the positive transformation that can arise from introspection and change. 10. Voldemort, Harry Potter. Voldemort, from the Harry Potter series, is driven by a desire for immortality and the elimination of those he considers lesser. While his pursuit of power is evil, it stems from his fear of death and a deep-seated desire to control his fate. His fear of mortality and obsession with purity can be seen as a tragic reflection of his own insecurities. Voldemort's motivations, although twisted and extreme, echo the universal human fear of death and the lengths some may go to avoid it. These villains demonstrate that motivations are not always black and white. Their actions, although destructive and harmful, are often fueled by deeply human desires, love, justice, survival, and a quest for meaning. Their complexity and the moral questions they raise make them some of the most interesting and thought-provoking characters in fiction. While their methods may be flawed or harmful, understanding the motivations behind their actions can lead to a deeper appreciation of their characters and the nuances of storytelling.